Hey, it's Jabbo. Welcome to BrickTsar, your home for vintage Lego. And look at this, we're actually going to talk about some vintage Lego today. We're over here looking at Joey. That's Brick for Trains, Joey. And BrickTsar, that's me. Some of the things we built from the Lego Blueprint series. So it's the combination of mostly things Joey built and a few of the things that I built. So we built them from these blueprints. Like for instance, this is the Windmill, and I built the Windmill. It's not 100% accurate per the instructions. I did the video on that, but here is the Windmill instructions. Very hard to follow, very confusing. The parts list, very confusing. But yeah, this is what it looks like. I think according to the instructions, it technically should have a red door there. It should have a red window there, but I used yellow instead. And these things came out, these blueprints were available around 1965. So we'll try to use vintage parts, but Joey cheated. He used modern parts. It's okay, except for the ones that you couldn't replace, like the windows. So this is the boathouse, which is blueprint number 2. Yeah, his looks really nice using the modern parts. So the only thing would be like the base plate, the windows, and the door. You'd have to get the originals, but you could use modern for just about everything else. This, yeah, the great thing about Legos, the parts, they still work, right? So old parts mostly will stick to new parts. You know, sometimes we have problems with certain types of parts that kind of warp with age, but yeah, that's why Joey chose to use the modern ones with his builds. So blueprint number 3 was the London bus. We did the video on the London bus. I think we're going to throw some lights in this for the light up at night thing they do with Brickfair. I got some windows that got busted out. Some passerbys threw rocks at the windows and busted my windows. Actually, they fall out. They're so old. So this is mostly vintage parts. A few modern parts might be mixed in. I did try to substitute all the windows with the correct ones with the wider lip on the bottom of them. I think there's 1 or 2 I still need to replace, like that 1x3. I got the window. I just don't want to take the bus apart to replace it. So that was blueprint number 3. Number 4 is this cool one. My son actually liked this. Hey, TheyMightBeBricks. So tell me, I got my son TheyMightBeBricks here. What did you like about this?
I just think it's one of the best, like, minimalist builds. I've never seen this before until I got here yesterday, but I love the grill right here. The way they use the slopes, I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
And the helmet with the oxygen tube. On the side. If you look on the side, you can see it better.
Oh, this part here?
Yeah, that's the tank that holds the air.
Okay. And his arms can kind of move because they're on these turntables. So he had to use some vintage parts, like the macaronis. They're kind of hard to find. The turntable, but he substituted light gray instead of old gray. These would have been an old gray. And this one would have been very tricky to build with all old parts.
Yeah.
This is a tricky build here. They just give you a picture and say build it. What do they call this thing?
The cosmic ray generator.
Cosmic ray generator. Why do they need to generate cosmic rays? They're already there.
They're an astronaut.
Yeah. And then the one that is the hardest to find, the Anna, Miranda, and Mark Build a House. A Lego legend. 1 shilling. So you actually had to pay for that book, huh? So he built 2 of the models in there, this boat thingy and this Anna, Miranda, and Mark's house. So this is a book that cost 1 shilling back in the day. To find one now, you're going to be looking at well over $100, maybe upwards of $200 to find this book. There is one currently listed on Bricklink that I've been thinking about buying, but I just can't bring myself to do it. But that is the full collection of the blueprints. Very hard to find these. I think these were given away at stores, but it's very hard to find these available for sale. The builds themselves, all common parts, not that hard to acquire the parts to build the actual builds, but what's valuable is either the book or the actual blueprints for these. So check this out at Brickfair, Alabama 2022, and if you're not able to make it, hey, at least you got to see it in this video. So we'll see you guys in the next one.